What's up, YouTube? This is Nathan Vance again, coming at you with another video. Before I get into this, I want to just say I hope you guys have a great Labor Day, and I hope you guys are being safe, whatever you're doing with your families and everything like that. Also, do me a favor, smash that like button, leave a comment, or subscribe to the channel if you're new. And today we're going to be covering AEW once again. Oh man, my mind is still trying to process this. So, last night, AEW held probably one of their most anticipated pay-per-views of the year, All Out in Chicago, Illinois. It was a wild turn of events last night, and I just want to point out a couple of things that happened during the show. Start with some of the matches and everything. I want to start off with Jon Moxley versus New Japan's Satoshi Kojima. The match was really good. I liked it. I've been a big fan of Moxley for a lot of years, back to when he was in WWE. And Kojima, I'm not really too familiar with his work. But, it was a really good match, I thought. The big story, though, was not the match itself, but it was Minoru Suzuki, another NJPW guy, confronting Moxley, laying him out. It's setting up a big match coming up on Dynamite this Wednesday in Cincinnati that we're all very excited for. Another thing I wanted to address, the tag team championship match, the steel cage match between the Lucha brothers and the champions at the time, the Young Bucks. A match of the year candidate, no doubt. Those two teams beat the living fuck out of each other. I remember Matt Jackson pulling out a pair of Travis Scott's that had thumbtacks attached to the soles, and I'm like, dude, this is bad fucking ass. And I just remember seeing Pentagon Jr. get absolutely bloodied up in that matchup. But in the end, Lucha Brothers are your new AEW World Tag Team Champions. I could not be more happier. Cero miedo. Next up, the Women's Casino Battle Royale for a #1 contendership to Britt Baker's women's title. And, you had basically a lot of the women's roster. You had Nyla Rose. You had Thunder Rosa. You had Taynara Conti, Anna Jay, Jade Cargill, so many women. But the big story, Ruby Soho, formerly known as Ruby Riott, if you watch WWE, making her a surprise entrance as the Joker. And not only does she enter as the Joker, she goes on to win the damn thing and is next in line to face Britt Baker. And I'm like, just seeing the emotion on her face, man, you can just tell she could not be more happier to be in AEW. I mean, the last few years, in WWE for her, I'll admit, they weren't the best. She wasn't really getting a lot of the opportunities she thought she should have. But hey, it is what it is. Moving forward now, CM Punk versus Darby Allin. Punk's first match in 7 years, man. It was a good quality match. I did like it a lot. I think Darby was the perfect first opponent for Punk. A good young star to kind of help get Punk over again. And just for him to kind of test the waters. The new gear looked good. I thought he would go with more of a Trunks kind of look, but nah, he went with the long tights and everything. And it just feels so good seeing Punk wrestle again. He looked like he had not missed a step. He looked like exactly how he was 7 years ago, wrestling in WWE. And then obviously, only the bigger story of the night came towards the end of the show in the main event. Kenny Omega, the AEW World Champion, the challenger Christian Cage. Good match, really good match. Kenny Omega goes on to retain the title against Christian Cage. But the big stories came post-match. Kenny Omega's cutting a promo in the ring saying how the Elite is unstoppable and everything. He's in there with Gallows and Anderson and the Bucks. Lights go out, and then music hits, and then you just see on the graphic on the Titantron, Adam Cole, baby! He comes out. And everyone's thinking, oh, he's going to side with Jungle Boy and Jurassic Express because they had come down to save Christian in a post-match beatdown. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that earlier. And then it turns out, it was a swerve. Because everyone was thinking Adam Cole was going to attack the Elite because there's history when Adam Cole was kicked out of Bullet Club when he left Ring of Honor. So Adam Cole does join the Elite. And then as Kenny Omega's doing like his whole like farewell, you know, goodbye and good night, you just hear more music hits, and then out onto the stage is none other than Bryan motherfucking Danielson, formerly known as Daniel Bryan. Now, I honestly never thought I'd see Daniel Bryan wrestling in another company that wasn't WWE, but I mean, hey, it is what it is. Anything can happen in 2021. Anything can happen with AEW. And just, my head is still just trying to process everything. It's crazy how in like the span of like 2 or 3 weeks, they managed to get CM Punk, Ruby Soho, Adam Cole, and Bryan Danielson. It's weird. AEW is taking over, man. I mean, this is no knock on WWE. I still love WWE. Just, I want them to be better. I just want them to step things up so they can get back on track and get back on that high level. Because right now, AEW, man, they're in a whole different league. They're playing chess while WWE is playing checkers, essentially. Big things are coming with this company, man. They haven't even hit their prime. And just, I'm very excited to see how this company climbs into the future. So that's going to wrap things up, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this video. Once again, I'm Nathan Vance, and I'm signing off.